Welcome to another episode of Dave and Kathy Unplugged, where today I find myself in downtown San Francisco, specifically in the Union Square district. And I'm staying here tonight at the Beacon Grand Hotel. You can kind of see all the way up there, beautiful. There's a really kind of a timeless old hotel built in 1928. I just want to take you on a tour of this, tell you a little bit about the history of this hotel, and maybe highlight some of the pros and cons to this neighborhood, which are quite interesting. So let's get into this episode. Let's check out the Beacon Grand Hotel in downtown San Francisco, California. So the Beacon Grand Hotel, located at the corner of Sutter and Powell Streets in San Francisco, Union Square, it opened in 1928 as the Sir Francis Drake Hotel. It was built by a couple of Midwesterners back in the day for big money. In fact, it was built by Midwestern developers Leon Huckins and John Newcomb for $5 million. It would be basically about $92 million in today's standards. So not a cheap building, and it was designed by San Francisco architects Weeks and Day. The hotel was designed with a European Renaissance flavor, as you can see from these walls and the ceilings and the ornate architecture here and the grand staircase, double staircase that goes, you can see it over there, how it goes up to this sort of this bar and sort of dining area that's right upstairs. I'll show you that in a little bit. Despite the 1929 stock market crash, the hotel thrived, attracting Hollywood stars. And in '36, its street-level supper club, the Persian Room, nicknamed the Snake Pit by columnist Herb Caen for its lively scene, became a nightlife hotspot. And during Prohibition, in the 1920 to 33, a secret Prohibition room hidden above the elevator lobby and accessible only by a special key stored bootlegged liquor. I love these stories of Prohibition, bootlegged liquor. Where did the term bootlegged come from? I got to research that. It stored bootlegged liquor from Canada's Moss Beach Distillery with peepholes in the lobby ceiling to watch for police. How cool is that? So the Beacon Grand is located really just at the corner of Powell and Sutter, right across the street from Laurie's Diner. And you can see it's this grand hotel, just a relatively, I would imagine back in 1928, a massive building. The Starlight cocktails, and it says cocktails and stories. So that is up on the 21st floor. Unfortunately closed today, so I can't really show that to you. But, you know, renamed the Beacon Grand just recently. Very interesting hotel. A pretty building for sure. Here, right in downtown San Francisco. You can stay in the Marriott right across the street, but that's so boring when you can stay over here at the Beacon Grand and have a little bit more of a sort of a boutique-y, I don't know how you describe it, sort of a class experience. A lot of history here in this beautiful Beacon Grand Hotel right here. And it's on the corner of Powell and Sutter, and you'll see that there's a little streetcar that goes by here as well. So neighborhood, it's okay. I think during the day is okay. You got the Golden Gate Grill and then Sears Fine Food. I mean, that's a sign. I've seen that sign for many, many years. So there are some restaurants in the area right by sort of Union Square is over there, and you'll see the Cheesecake Factory all the way across. Great place to eat. As a matter of fact, I remember taking Kathy and the kids there when they were younger. We had an amazing meal and overlooked. So this is in a very nice central location for sure. And then you can see, here comes one of the streetcars down Powell. For those of you who know California Street, you'll see a cable car going down the street there as well. But this is, here, check this out. What a beautiful thing. There they go. Sutter Street stop. People are getting on. So this is the Beacon Grand main entrance. There is a side entrance as well, but you can see that it's right here, actually on Powell Street. Now, a couple of things. Watch out for the parking rate. because you're talking $72 plus 14% tax, and you got to add another $10 for oversized vehicles. So not cheap, but you can kind of look at the sort of the classic design from the late 1920s to get in. But when we approach the doors, you see there's this grand staircase that goes up, and it's really quite an amazingly beautiful entrance here to get into the Beacon Grand Hotel. And you first are presented with sort of, this is the main feature of the hotel. Up on the 21st floor, there is a really cool, now what is now indoor sort of restaurant, bar, and all of that. But here, this is the main feature. And when they reconditioned this hotel, they kept a lot of the murals and all of that intact. So this is where you check in right here. And how's it going, guys? All right, doing well. And there are meeting rooms up there. There was a AI conference. They were just shooting a picture. The elevators got a bit jammed here last night when I checked in, and there were quite a few pilots and airline flight attendants that all arrived at the same place. But you know, there's a total of 4 elevators. At one point, I thought about taking the stairs. And when I checked in, I got a free drink coupon. Really good drink last night and a nice dinner. So you can see this, literally it just flows up into here from the main lobby. And these, the old classic chandeliers, apparently those are original from the late 1920s. And yeah, this bar is really great. Here's one of classic fireplaces. It looks like it's closed off now. And then there's a side room over here. Let's check that out. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, this is kind of cool back in here. Yeah, I like this. You can see that these are actually screens that change. So here we are in the library, which is just off of the main dining room, just above the lobby. And this is kind of a cool thing. This is actually a TV that shows artwork, and they only change that picture once a day to kind of keep the flavor and the ambiance nice. But it's this room is really, really nice. And just off this room is the whiskey room. And this is where they have major collection of lots of different kinds of whiskeys. One bottle in particular that I noticed here is a special one. This is a Macallan 200th anniversary. This is 84-year-old whiskey, and it's I think called the Time and Space Edition. Now, I'm not an expert in whiskeys, but that is $319 a pour. And if you drink it, the whole thing, you will be a pour. How am I doing? All right, that was a bad joke. But anyway, these are all the different types of whiskeys in here, and really kind of cool. Macallan front and center, that's for sure, when you walk in. But the highlight of this particular room here is the ceiling. There's been major renovations of this building, this hotel over the years, and this ceiling is one of the last original ceilings that is basically untouched, just cleaned. And you can see the artwork that's up there and the care that went into that. So that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, if you're staying in this hotel, check out the library and the whiskey room. Very cool. All right, so if you come up to the 3rd floor, you'll find the gym, which is right over here, AKA the fitness studio, which is open 24 hours, and you need to use your guest card, your room key, I guess, to get in here. And you can see that nobody is working out, but they have there's a stepper machine here. There are some Pelotons, 4 Pelotons, Star Trek, treadmills, a TV, an elliptical, a rowing machine, free weights. Yeah, this is nice, and a nice machine over there where you can do lots of things. So no excuse. If you stay in this hotel, you better do a workout. Do as I say, not as I do, because I did not work out this morning. So if you walk into the main entrance and then turn left, you'll see you can go down this hallway, and you don't have to actually walk up the stairs to get to the elevators. It looks like this is how the luggage gets over there, where they don't have to carry it up those stairs, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Willie Shakespeare there saying hi, and of course they're able to take the luggage up. Now, during Prohibition, legend has it that there was a secret room somewhere between the lobby and the second floor. Now, if you see right above here, there are the elevators over here. Right above there is a space that is now sealed off due to a fire hazard. And I was asking one of the guys that works here, I said, where's the secret room for the Prohibition times? And he said that basically when you were taking the elevator up from the lobby to the second floor, you'd have to stop the elevator halfway, and then they would pry the elevator open, and you could jump out and go into this room where they imported whiskey from Canada, which then makes sense as to why that whiskey room is over there. It's kind of a throwback tradition. So I love all these little things. Wonder if there's any ghost stories or legends here. My room didn't seem to be bad. By the way, speaking of the rooms, the bedding was very nice. The room was very small. It did have an updated television, and the bed was super comfortable. But it had this really cool thing where, you know, you could stick your hand through the glass in the shower in order to turn the shower on so you don't get wet when you turn it on. I've never seen that before. Maybe it's just me, but I've stayed in a lot of hotels, never saw that before, so that was pretty cool. But, you know, the room was nice. There was a refrigerator in there, and there was also a desk, a lot of connectivity for plugs and USB, not C, but USB-A, so bring your adapters for that. And other than that, yeah, really kind of nice. My buddy who stayed here last night, he had a room up on the 20th floor, just below the 21st floor, and he had a view overlooking the Union Square. All right, so the Starlight Lounge that's located on the 21st floor, it's open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 4 p.m. till 2 a.m. It's basically a lounge, and they have a DJ. So check that out if you're in town. Like I saw these people getting in the elevator, and I thought they were all masked up. They were trying to get into the Starlight Lounge last night, but it wasn't open. So I think they were disappointed. They kept trying to get up there with their room key, but it's only open Thursday through Sunday nights. So legend had it, this was a mobster hotel back in the day. And the rumor is, and maybe not the rumor, but the truth is that there was a mobster who was hosting his daughter's wedding up here, which is now where the post room is. And he got all excited and shot his Tommy gun off. And what they've done is they've left these bullet holes up here as a tribute to the history. One of them is in the chandelier, which you can see right here. And the other one is, they always say, the third flower from the left. And you can see the bullet hole there. So it's just a little tribute to maybe the history and the ambiance of this hotel, which I think is so cool. Let's go check out Union Square real fast. So one of the things you can hear constantly is the cable running through the street there. It's kind of it's like a metal on metal sound. And it's, yeah, it's basically just the cable. They've got the rails on either side, and then the cable runs up the middle right there. So pretty cool. Now, just as you exit the hotel and you turn left out the main entrance, you'll come over to Union Square, which is a great place. Now, one word of caution. I want everybody to be careful around here at night. Union Square, past 10 o'clock, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be hanging out by myself, that's for sure. There's an area not far from here, up sort of in this direction and that way, called Tenderloin. It's a 50 square block area that is, and I understand it's getting better. There's a lot of homeless, there's a lot of drug use, and it's kind of sad because this is such a beautiful city. I mean, look at this This is such an amazing, amazing building right here. But this is Union Square. Check this out. This is a huge, beautiful area here that I think if you're in San Francisco, you definitely need to come see. Now you can see the top of my hotel is peeking out above that newer building, and up there on the 21st floor is that room that we talked about. And if you're up there, sounds like my buddy was up there last night. I don't know how he got that room and I didn't. But here we are at Union Square. Love the palm trees. Love that. By the way, I think it was Mark Twain that said the coldest winter he ever spent was August in San Francisco. And this morning when I came out, I was pretty cold. So anyway, here you got Macy's, you've got the Cheesecake Factory and Neiman Marcus, and a beautiful, beautiful square right here. So you definitely want to check that out. Come on over to Union Square, a lot of high-end shops. But like I said, just be careful at night, that's all. Just use your smarts. Well, thanks again, everyone, for watching another episode of Dave and Kathy Unplugged, where today we featured the Beacon Grand, which you can see peeking up above Union Square here in downtown San Francisco. Kind of a different hotel, a lot of history. Check it out. If you want to stay in something other than a Hilton or a Marriott, why don't you check out the Beacon Grand in Union Square here in downtown San Francisco. We'll catch you on the next episode of Dave and Kathy Unplugged. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.